Hey everybody. Okay, so we're going to continue with what Corey and Lindsay want me to do, which is to go back into history and I guess relive old stuff like working on He-Man. Um, so I'm sitting in front of an animation desk. I have a model sheet next to me, and it's right here. If any of you can see it, I just went online. I don't know what happened to my model sheets. It's only been like 130 years. Okay, so same thing. We at our school when we learn to draw the face, we learn to draw the skull. So this is my shorthand. So I got the eyes, nose, mouth, alarm on my watch, chin, zygomatic process. So you're I used to watch the old animators. You can tell when they were like the really old animators. That's my alarm going off. I don't know how to turn it off because I'm not that smart. But used to watch these old animators. They were really old and like really old, and like three whoopee cushions and a pillow old. But they would just kind of push the pencil like this. And you think, you can put some pressure on it. But you come to realize just how brilliant these people were, and they're just searching the drawing. See, the character does the work, not you, the animator. You're just documenting it. So in this situation, it's Skeletor, and he's going this direction. I'm just having some fun. And we got his little cloak thing. Yeah, let's see. Not that I'm bored, right? Skeletor. And then this is his thing here, and then these are his bones. We won't get into that. And then let's see. We go like this, and he's kind of looking down at you, and you just, I don't know, just let the character do the work. Say, okay, this is what I need, and the character does the action, and you trace it with the pencil. So it's pretty cool. So here's the land. Now, if I'm animating, I don't really need to do more than this because you want to animate in real time. And that's what will keep it from being cliche. You get those really beautiful subtleties. So when I animate, I scribble. Now, you've got those animators out there who are incredible and they do it in their head and they just do the finished drawing, and that's fine. If they do that, though, and they give me this finished, beautiful drawing, I still have to take it back to this stage. So it doesn't do a lot of good. I mean, it works for them because they can see their finished piece. But for me, I have to still take it back and get all those rhythms going and everything. So not that they're not, but in order to work with a brilliant animator, you have to know what makes them brilliant, which means you have to know how to do it also. Not that we're brilliant. Okay, so now we have rhythm chart right here. It's the forehead. And then here's the nose. He's got kind of a short nose, so right there. And here's, oh, well, we got it today. Sorry that late. It's only 12:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to teach today. Here's his teeth. And here's the chin. And then from the chin, we're going to go over the zygomatic process, side plane. So that's He-Man. Okay. And then from here, I can keep tying it down a little bit. Let's get the expression. He's kind of an angry guy. I have to rub my nose at least once or twice in the video because then if I don't, Corey won't have anything to make fun of me with. So here we go. Let's see. You're working on a character that's a long time ago, but when you remember that you got arrested for sniffing, snorting pencil shaving dust. That would be it. Let's see. You know when the highlight of your day was the sound of the roach coach outside going twiddly, 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 and you know you can get a breakfast burrito. So you know when you've been an animator for a long time that the sound of your neighbor working next to you, the sound that they make is not the gardener outside with the blower, but them responding to the breakfast burrito. Let's see. You know when you're basically just listening to talk radio all day, and the guy's name is Michael Jackson, but he doesn't sing an album called Bad. I used to listen to Michael Jackson all the time. He was this guy that was a talk radio guy, and he would just call all over the world, and you thought the world was coming to an end. So that was probably the first time you thought the world was coming to an end. Okay, the teeth, they actually drew all the teeth on Skeletor, which was a pain in the butt. So I'm just drawing a skull. I mean, for me, this was kind of easy because, you know, I was into figure drawing and then anatomy. Let's see. What else can we say? You know, you were working on an old TV show. Let's see. Ink and paint. Is there an ink and paint joke? I don't know. It was fun. It was a good time. I mean, when I was at Warner Brothers managing, everybody was so serious. I actually gave some meetings where I was like, can we start having some practical jokes and kind of get in trouble and stuff? Because it's getting really boring in here. I could imagine that today it's going to be horrible because college got boring. I mean, the kids just got really, really boring, you know, and you know, when you're the college teacher and you're the one getting in trouble, and you know, okay, I have these things poking out here, so you have to count them. There's one, two, I don't know, maybe three or four or something. So to treat it like a perspective. Let's see. So that goes here, and then this will go back. We had some real characters working in the studio. They were really fun. Let's see. I was working on a well, that was a He-Man. I was working on this TV show, and it was live action animation combined, and they had the actor was on the phone, and I don't know why they allowed the actors to be close to the animator, especially with me, because it wasn't healthy, because I wasn't normal. Okay, so here's our rough. See, so now I'm going to move over to the red. Now normally I go red on the rough, and then I go to blue because I can then go right over the blue with the black. But here I'm going to go blue, red, blue, and then I would go to black. So I'm on the phone. Back then we had these things called pay phones. It was a really interesting concept. You had to have stuff in your pocket called change. It was like dimes and nickels and quarters, and I mean, it made you real popular because you had these bulges in your pants all the time, and especially back then in the studios, because you know 3/4 of everybody was gay. So you're walking around with these bulges in your pockets, and they're like, "Ooh, hi," and like, "No, I have to make a phone call." So you had to find, where there's a payphone. So there's one payphone in the lobby. That was it, one payphone. And I would run and get on the phone. And there was this actor. He was like real famous, I guess, this kid. And he was talking to another one of the actors. And he was in this movie, it was in a live action movie. And he said, wow, you were so authentic in your movie. How did you do that? And it was about, I guess, somebody died. And he said, well, I had somebody in my family who died, and I just pulled from that. And the other actor, young guy, was like, got really depressed. He goes, I haven't had anybody in my family who died. So I was on the phone. I said, hold on. And I turned and I looked at the actor and I said, we can arrange that. So I thought that was kind of funny. I think they just kind of looked at me, but we were just the animators. You knew where you stood, because during that, before the actors came on, I had an office with a friend of mine, a guy that I'll tell you about. He was amazing. He was a great grandfather, Jim Steele, and he was just the greatest guy. We had so much fun together, and we'd always share the office together. But the people who were on the set, the live action set, they didn't bring in the actors yet, and it was cold. It was freezing out there, so they were like getting sick, these animators, and then as soon as it was either hot or cold. And then as soon as the actors came on, they got air conditioning. It's like, wow, thanks. So that's when you knew where you stood. We didn't really matter. Okay, he's got kind of a round zygomatic process. So now we're starting to look at putting him on model. So we go like that. So Jim was just the greatest guy. It was so fun. Here, I was like, 6 months old. I was like, just tiny kid. I was really young. And Jim was a great grandfather, and he worked on Three Caballeros. If you guys don't know what that is, you got to watch it. It was really great animation. He's just been around, and we just connected, It was really fun. We had a good time. So he would just tell me all these stories and stuff. And he'd do all these like really ridiculous jokes, cartoons, he'd have a doctor come out and had a plant that was drooping. He said, sorry, ma'am, but your plant has gonorrhea. I mean, it's like, today, you guys wouldn't even know what that is, It's like, you would be like, is that funny? But he was just very entertained with himself. Okay, so I have this over here. So let's bring this over here. And I still have all this stuff. I saved every one of them. And it was really fun. All the jokes. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay, you rub that back, but it doesn't matter because we're roughing it. Okay, so this, see, I could just naturally turn that disc. It's just so normal. And this disc only has one here. I'm used to having another one down here, so you know somebody's looking for it. So I have this way too high. So I'm going to come over here and bring this down. Always uneven. So if this stops here, I'm going to bring this point apex over here. Little subtleties. Makes your animation. And when I would do that, I would put a little tick mark. So I would know that that's what I'm going to animate. I got to turn that corner. So that was really important. Now this is really complicated here, so I go simple here. Now if the animator didn't do it, that's fine, because I'll do it. And this is complicated, so I go simple here. So this is complex, nice curve. This is complex, put it straight. Let's see. At the Sherman Way studio, the electricity went out. So they had us outside for a few days. So we would just show up, and we couldn't work. There's no air, but it was dying in there until they realized the air was going to be out for a while. So then we all had to go back in. So I left. I used to always wear, it's going to sound funny, but I always wear shorts and like a Fat Albert t-shirt, to work. So it's one of my things. So I lived close by, went home and changed and put on some shorts. It was really hot in there, but we were sitting outside and it was really fun because you watch the cars. They didn't care that the light was out, the stoplight. So they'd go flying through the intersection and almost kill each other. So all the animators went in and grabbed a stack of animation paper and a big Sharpie, and then they would like judge the almost car accident. So the car go, and they fly all over the place. And all of a sudden these animators are holding up, 8, 7, 6, 5, like that, like the Olympics. I thought it was funny. I don't know, just why do you let animators be in public? Well, we weren't. We were in cubicles. Okay, so here we go. So we have this lining down here, zygomatic process. Growing out of that is kind of weird. They had the maxilla here, gave him a smile. Alright, so we got that. So I'm looking for the hole, but I need the one up here because I'm used to. I was a 2-hole kind of guy. We'll let that go. So we'll go here, here, there, and then can put in the holes. The model sheet's not really good because I took it offline. So, but I would then count the teeth to make sure I have them just right. Then we go here. This will go here because he's a skull, and then we have the dark part here. Here we go, and then have a straight line. So this is real complicated here, so I'm going to put a straight line there, make it less complicated. So it brings this out. So if I have this complicated and this line complicated, what's going to happen is you're not going to see this. So this straight line pushes you here. It's all the stuff we teach in our figure drawing. So if you're taking figure drawing and you're not learning that stuff, never mind. Okay, here we go. Because you need it if you're going to use it. So we got that. There we go. I was a studyaholic back in the. I still am. I study. I mean, you said, here you go. Here's my studio, and there's more books than I have room in here, so I have them stacking up now. I study all the time. So, but back then, man, I just wanted to learn so much and just questioning all the old timers, everybody. How do you do that? What are you thinking? What do you think when you put down your line quality? Where's your eye? Where's it going? So I really like when the students do that. To me, that's really cool. Okay, here we go. So I have to have a negative shape here. So I'm going to go like this. I have to make sure I don't have tangents. Color that in. So that's our Skeletor, and you can color in if you want, because it's just a rough, like that. Okay, and then he's got this. I'm gonna go. Got this straight line here, so I can go curve here if I want. Okay. Then we have this. So this is coming over. So it'll fold. So I have to bring this line down. Yeah, 2 of them. No, that's calling out for the color. Okay, and then he's got boners here. No one here. He's got a bone. He's got a bone. That's his problem. Okay, and then this goes this way. This goes this way. And then for these things coming out, I mean, I have fun with them. You know, you can make them a little more curvy. I don't know what these things are called. I don't know what they were. He-Man was not designed to be the TV show that it was. It was a commercial for Mattel for their toy. And it just took off and became this cult TV show. And, but it started out as a commercial. So who knew? Certainly worked for us animators, I'll tell you. Kept us working. It was great. Amen. Okay, here we go. Now here, this thing is going to be down here, so I have it in the wrong spot. Let's come here. Bam. Okay, so that's wrong. I would say there's some things going on that would really hurt you back in the olden days. This perfectionism thing that's going on. I don't even know what to call it. Perfection something. How? I mean, look at, I just put that in the wrong spot. What's going to happen? I'm going to go in the hallway and have a breakdown. No, you erase it. Do it again. So, the only time you didn't want to see problems is when you were in dailies. Okay, so this is going to go this way now. In dailies, if they do, you know, they got a problem, they have to retakes, you don't want it to be on you. So that would be a problem. Steve Hickner, we were partners, we were in the same office for a long time, and he was crazy. And he used to always yell, retake, retake, and he'd run around the studio yelling, retake, retake. So I have this bulge here, so I'm going to put this one here. I was just, God, I laughed so hard. We were not normal people, you know. Okay, so here we go. Boom, 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 boom. And just keep working it. And you're allowed to. Nobody gets anything right the first time. It's crazy. So I was saying in the last video, you do so many drawings per day. So you had footage. And the reason why it was good with the footage, because if you had a tough scene, you know, like I got a lot of A scenes, which was really cool. You know, like this would be an A scene, you know, because you're got a close-up of you know, the character. So you have to make sure it really works. It's right there on the screen. The boss would give you other scenes that you just had to put your name on there. You know, they were stock scenes. There wasn't even any drawing, or maybe one drawing. So it'd be like a 17-foot scene, you know, and you just had to sign your name and or do one drawing maybe, or do a registration line. But the next scene you get was like 3 feet, and it was just crazy. Lots of characters, and you're just living on that scene for a long time. So, you know, they'll take care of you. So I was doing, I don't know, 80, 100 feet a week. You know, I was working hard. And if I needed to, I'd stay late, you know, get my work done. So, so this got here. I was very much a fanatic. But being trained by Eddie Rayberg, you know, you had to know your stuff. Eddie, when I was about 16, had me time my drawings, so I would have to come in and show him in-betweens that I did, and I had to have a chart, you know, and I would time the drawings and how long it would take, and he would see if they started taking less time. So he was training me at production level, and I was only, 15 years old. So I still have his voice in my head all the time. It's great. So I'm always going to keep the memory of Eddie alive. If you knew him, you know him. He was funny. Crazy guy. All right. You can do as many colors as you want. I don't have to go over this again, but you can do as many colors as you want. You can do it as many times as you want. Nobody cares. So this rhythm would go to that one. I don't know. Skeletor. So I'm going to show you, some of the characters. I didn't do a lot of the female characters. Like I did a little Tila here or there, but they had a weird thing. I don't know if they get away with it today, but if you were a girl, you drew girl characters, and if you were a guy, you drew guy characters. And there were some people I think who did guys who did girl characters who were really talented, but I don't know. I drew mostly guy characters, so I did heroes and villains, and I didn't care. But if I got a character and it was a female, I would be fine. No problem. So I don't know if I'm going to do much. I guess we could do Shira and we could do Tila. They're tough, but for me, this guy's kind of easy. Okay, so let's get this off to Corey, and he'll get it out to you guys. And then eventually what I'll do is I'll start animating the characters and show you how to do in-betweens, breakdowns, how to key. And maybe there'll be a job out there, because one thing about the industry, you can never predict the industry, okay? And you got to keep reinventing yourself. All right, well, this is fun, and I'm real excited to be behind my animation desk again. Okay, love you guys. Okay, bye.